The latest. Thank you for love and support. We all know what is happening in DR Congo. Our brothers and sisters in Congo have never known peace for centuries. Congo is the richest country in the world. They are blessed with everything. The West economy is fed on all natural resources that are coming from Congo. But this is a place that they do not know peace. The leader of EFF, Malema, has also come out to voice out about the things that are happening in Congo. We heard that now Paul Kagame is declaring war on South Africa. So Ramaphosa is also trying to be part of this war. And Malema is telling him that they can never be part of this war. They can never team up with what is happening. Congo has everything. Congo deserves to be living in riches. Yet these people are in poverty. That the people, the soldiers that they were taking from South Africa to Congo to go and fight, this is not their war. We have to see how best we can do to bring unity in DR Congo.
Comrades, fighters, and the people of South Africa, our nation finds itself in the middle of a war in the Democratic Republic of Congo without a clear explanation as to why. As the EFF, we commend our courageous soldiers who fought bravely and placed their lives on the line in order that they must ensure there is peace and stability in the DRC. Our soldiers are disciplined and could never question those orders, and they have followed these orders with discipline. There can be no doubt that those soldiers who have passed on sacrificed their lives and deserve to be recognized and honored. However, at the heart of the conflict in the Congo is not a desire for peace, but the greed of the West for the minerals wealth of Congo. The DRC is a home of vast reserves of minerals essential for modern technology, including cobalt and tin, titanium and gold. Around 70% of the world cobalt, crucial for electric cars, batteries, and smartphones, comes from DRC. Yet Congolese people see none of these riches. Instead, multinational corporations and West nations exploit these resources while fueling conflict to maintain their access. Over 200 companies from the UK and Belgium are involved in the purchasing minerals from the DRC, and these nations directly finance armed groups and perpetuate violence. These corporations and their governments remain complicit, failing to regulate supply chain or hold corporations accountable for using conflict minerals. The chaos in the DRC goes back to the colonial conquest and today is sustained by imperialist interest to loot the wealth of the DRC. This conflict is equally fueled by ethnic divisions in the region. Comrades, it is here where the influence of Rwanda in the DRC emerges. As ethnic group that fled from Rwanda during the Rwandan genocide and settled in the eastern Congo are used as the basis for Rwanda support for M23 rebel against the regime in the DRC, while Rwanda is simultaneously a proxy of Western interests in the Congo. The conflict in the DRC, therefore, does not require a head of state who suffers from a desire to be a hero at the expense of the lives of our soldiers without an appreciation of the condition that informs the conflict. It is when you do not appreciate the condition that inform the conflict in the DRC that you will speak in folk tongues when you speak to the president of Rwanda and communicate a different message to the people of South Africa. Lies have short legs, Mr. President, and we demand clarity from you because you have sent our soldiers to their death and then antagonized forces in their region, knowing very well you are not prepared for war. It is crucial for fellow fighters to acknowledge this history and ask ourselves what is the specific role of the South African National Defence Force in the Congo, and in whose interest is our mission in the Congo? Whose peace and stability are we pursuing in the Congo? Is peace and stability for the continent, or peace and stability for mining interests of global capitalists? Commissars and fighters, citizens of our great country, and our armed forces who are in the trenches in the Congo, I take this opportunity to caution the President of South Africa, Sir Ramaphosa, not to fall into the pitfalls of warmongering and not allow desperation to inspire a misguided intervention in the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. For centuries, when a nation is confronted by massive social and economic challenges such as poverty, starvation, homelessness, and unemployment, war has been a weapon of the ruling elite to mobilize patriotism. Those who have over the years in modern society lost of the popular mandate of the people have embarked on senseless wars, sacrificing soldiers in an attempt to unite the nation behind one common purpose and one common cause. The President of South Africa ought to be careful to not allow fanatics to incite him into war simply because it will give the people who have lost hope in him a common enemy to unite against. The dignity and pride of our army is not harmed because our African counterparts do not respect us. It is harmed because we have interfered in a conflict we do not understand and send our soldiers to fight rebels who are more equipped than us. We are being humiliated in DRC and threatened with war by President of Rwanda because our role of peace in the DRC is questionable, because there is no peace that has ever been achieved through the deployment of soldiers. The South African National Defence Force is not in DRC to pursue peace, but we are participating in the decade-old conflict to secure the mineral interest of the capital elite in the Congo. Our soldiers must withdraw from the DRC, not only because they have not been given the necessary equipment to pursue the so-called peace they are there for, but because the motivation to send our forces to the DRC are dishonest. Our children, our sons and daughters of the South African National Defence Force have been sent to death because the mineral interest of multinational corporations and individuals must be secured. Our soldiers have been sent to be glorified bodyguards of the mines in the DRC, and this mission has been disguised as a pursuit of peace and a defense of democracy. Bring our soldiers home, because our army should not be a pawn in a game of capitalists which has now exposed the weakness of our military capacity. Bring them home, because every day they pass away, we see the consequences of a deliberate destruction of our arms manufacturer Dinel, and we see the consequence of the year-on-year budget cuts to the Defense Department. Bring our soldiers home, because they are the first line of defense for our people, not the first line of defense for the interest of capitalists and mining corporates. Mr. President, bring our soldiers home and desist from meddling in the affairs of DRC and Rwanda as if you are the USA of Africa, because we do not know if you'll be able to defend us when the rest of Africa turns their guns to the south. The manner in which the former liberation movement has collapsed our military and defense capacity is the embarrassment we must talk about. Mr. President and people of South Africa, to rescue the lives of our soldiers from a war they are not prepared for is not an embarrassment. It is a strategic and necessary retreat that prioritizes life over profits. Cyril Ramaphosa, I appeal to you and your conscience. Bring our soldiers home. Even if you threaten to fight a war against Rwanda, we don't have the military capacity to can fight any other country. Our army has collapsed because you have taken money away from them and put it under your mattresses. Today, our soldiers do not have food, do not have ammunition, do not have sophisticated equipment. We are not scared to fight, but at the moment, we are not ready and capable to fight. The best thing is to retreat. Kaspedi ba re o shesha, a se o tšhaba, ke o tšea maatla. Commissars and fighters, let us make use of the time we have at this plenum to resolve on critical questions and map the way forward for our organization. This is the first and the final plenary meeting for the 2026 local government elections, because after this, we head straight to the ground to establish the sub-regional structures and lead society directly from the picket lines. The past is behind us and can never determine our future or our destination. The EFF remains the weapon of the masses of our people, and it will achieve the generational mission of economic freedom in our lifetime.
Congo deserves everything. These people have everything. Is it the cobalt? Is it the bauxite, the gold? Everything. We see, the phones, the laptops, all these things that we are using, the materials that they need to feed or bring out these things are all coming from Congo. And because of these natural resources that the Congolese have, they have never known peace. It's like you will not go and harvest honey, or you have the honey in your house and people come to harvest the honey and take it for free, yet you, the owner of it, don't get anything out of it. And we see that according to reports, M23 rebel groups are being backed by Rwanda. Paul Kagame has been a leader that we all cherish, especially when he comes to give us speeches that have to do with African unity. But at the end of the day, we don't see that. And according to Julius Malema, these people have allowed themselves to be used by the West. Because the more we keep fighting in Congo, the more these people carry all the natural resources that we have in Congo. So the tactics is to use war to get whatsoever that they want to get. According to history, that's what mostly the big economies do. They wage war on the smaller countries that they have things that they need because they want to get them cheap from them. They wage war. As the war is ongoing, they take everything. Like what we see happen in Libya. Muammar Gaddafi was a very brilliant and a savior of Africa, because Muammar Gaddafi gave all the Libyans the lives that no leader in the world has ever given to his people. Is it houses? Is it that you are sick? Is it that you want to marry? What is it that you want that Muammar Gaddafi do not say have it? Because of the oil that they have in Libya. And these people sat there and realized that Muammar Gaddafi was changing the narrative in Africa, and they needed the oil that is in Libya. So what did they do? They have to find something to tell we the African propaganda so that we'll rise up against our leader. Then we did that. We took out Muammar Gaddafi before the war will end, and we'll not turn to go and look for where our oil is. The United States of America is saying, meet the oil in US. This is the same thing that they are still doing in Congo, because Africans, we have allowed ourselves to be divided. When they come, instead of us to be together as one people like the way they came and met us, we decided to hold on to tribal things. I am this tribe, I am that tribe, I am from East, I am from West. So the people sit down to use the division among ourselves to bring the conflict between us. And the more we are busy fighting for unity and peace and defending our country, these people are busy taking the natural resources away. Julius Malema is saying they do not want to be part of this war. And we are not only saying that Africans shouldn't be part of this war. This war belongs to every African. We are not fighting the war against Rwanda. We are fighting the war against oppression, against the West. We know the people that are involved in this problem that we are having in DR Congo. And that is why the citizens of Congo decided to ban the embassies. Belgium, United States of America, France, and Rwanda, because they have seen a loophole in Rwanda and they are using Rwanda against Congo, according to reports. Why is it that Africans in this 21st century, we are still fighting among ourselves? We can only unite in speech. When we gather and take pictures and smile, that's when our unity comes. The moment we leave, we still allow these people that are not using guns anymore on us to keep allowing us to fight for them to enrich their country. Congo has everything, name it, but the people are living in perpetual poverty, hunger. They don't have peace. Congolese do not have peace. Why? Belgium, you came from 19 Kojohoho. Till date, you are still there. And according to Julius Malema, these are the things that the world have to talk about. Yet everybody is silent because it is benefiting just the people that claim they are on top. The people that claim that Africans are inferior and they need to govern us because we cannot govern ourselves. But they have forgotten that even if we can't govern ourselves, the natural resources are on our land. We deserve it. That's why nature gave it to us. UN Security Council, we said we are there to make sure that there will be peace in the world. Yet Congo is never knowing peace. African Union was organized so we can help ourselves, defend ourselves, our security. Yet Congo for centuries and decades has never known peace. Congo is crying. Congo is bleeding. Congo has been crying to the world that we need peace. What is the crime of Congo? Congolese have natural resources. God has blessed this country, this African country. You too, where are you coming from? That you should have this. And because there are some people in Africa that are benefiting from it, they are quiet and our people keep suffering. Our people keep dying. We want a free Congo. Congolese do not deserve to suffer for their own natural resources that they are not benefiting from. People cannot always take what belongs to Congo and give them pain. This war is not between Africans. We all have to unite and support our brothers in Congo so that together we will fight for the liberation of Congo. If Congo is not safe, all of us are not safe. We need to team up, unite under one umbrella, and fight the oppressor that is dividing us for their own interests. If our leaders are not ready to give us the peace we want, we have to rise up in unity and say, we need peace. What is the African youth doing about the situation in Congo? What are we doing to help our brothers and sisters in Congo? Because our leaders are only talking every day, yet we do not see actions. Our brothers are bleeding. They need all of us on board. Let's see how best we can help support our brothers in Congo so they get the liberty that they need, so they get the freedom that they need. The pain and suffering is too much. It is high time Congo see peace. Congo deserves the peace. Congo deserves to enjoy its natural resources. The leaders who are always talking, rise up. We do not want to see this war escalated. Seeing other African countries joining, because if this should happen, it's going to cause harm to Africa. Only Congo and see the pain we are going through. We don't want this war to extend, spread to other African countries, because we can never fight among ourselves. If there is anybody that we need to fight, that is oppressor. The people that are taking the natural resources out of Africa are our enemies. They are the ones that we need to fight. Those that have kept systems in place and gatekeepers to make sure Africa never get the peace that we want, they are the people that we need to fight. These leaders are outmoded. They are always going. They don't care what happens in 2030, in 2050, in 2060. And that is why they always put their policies years ahead of us. They go for loans years ahead of us when they know they will never be there to take responsibilities. These things are going to affect you and I, the policies that they bring. So we have to fight for a better Africa and a better system. The biggest enemy of Africa is mental slavery. If these people are giving us gold up there in heaven, yet they take the gold on earth, let's let them understand that we are no longer interested in the one in heaven. They should first go and bring the one in heaven before they come to tell we the Africans to leave ours and join them. So united we stand, divided we fall. Ununited we stand forever and ever. We are one people, one Africa, one destiny, and a common ancestor. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa and in South Africa.